Yeah, man. Meet tomorrow. You're not going, right, Elliot?
No.
Okay. But you are going to Logan's the week after?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's in Franklin, Mass.
My section.
Yes. I'd be careful with that. Sometimes when you hold it, it like picks up and goes like.
He's getting violent with the mic right there, bro.
That's on me.
Choking on the mic, bro.
I think.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, it is quite literally the Utopiacast After Dark. It is 10:30 right now. This is definitely the latest we've ever recorded a pod. Late PR.
I got my bev.
You got your bev. Do you have anything you want to get off your chest before we get going? Because it's been a theme where you give us a confession before we start going.
Get off my chest. Just the fact that I honestly haven't paid for my UNE parking pass yet this semester.
Ooh.
How much is it?
$100.
It's a fucking scam, bro.
Every fucking year, $100 just to park in a parking lot that doesn't even have enough spots.
You know what was whack? When I was a freshman, we were told there was no cars. Like, you can't bring your car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, freshmen, I don't know. It's like because there's unlimited parking. There were so many freshmen that I see had their vehicle there and were on a sports team, and I wasn't. And I was like, the fuck? This is bullshit. I had to go home. I had to get rides from someone who went to Western New England, who my father knew. My father's friend's daughter's like friend or something like that had to take me. I've never said one word to this girl. She would pick me up and we'd drive 3 hours. I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm still not over that.
You shouldn't be, bro. Don't ever let that go.
I'm not, bro. I never will.
That's what you wanted to get off your chest?
UNE.
You want something fucking better, bro?
UNE, if you hear this.
Got anything better?
I have something better, but I don't think I can say it on the pod.
We can edit
It's
it
not
out.
my pod.
We can edit it out.
I'm probably responsible for the deaths of 40 individuals at this point in my life. There was a homeless man.
Yeah,
a couple of hookers.
So you know what? I understand that reference and he does too, but no one else will.
Grace, if you're watching, the deaths are real, but the hookers are not. It's just the American Psycho reference. So,
well, anyway.
Was any of it actually real, though?
Ooh.
dude, honestly, I'm going 50-50 because, like, do I think he killed the homeless man? Yeah. Do I think the hookers were real?
You think you put a cat in the ATM?
No, dude. No, and that's what signifies that some of it was just like a mild, like, psychopathic schizophrenic episode. And, like, the way that they were selling the apartment where he killed the hookers and they weren't in the closet anymore, like, you know, that's the way it goes, bro.
That's it.
Are you going to read the book?
Apparently the book is more sadistic than the movie.
The book is also, like, actually, like, a series, apparently. Not a series, but, like, it extends far beyond the movie.
Yeah, it does.
And Grace was telling me, because we dressed up as them for Halloween, she was telling me that the actual secretary, Jean, plays a much more prominent role in the book.
Right.
Which I think is interesting. It's actually like a love story.
He also has a really popular book called Less Than Zero. Ever heard of that one?
No.
Bret Easton Ellis, I believe, right? Yeah.
What's it about?
It's very vulgar. I'm not going to explain it. I'm not even going to do it justice because I've never read it. But
Okay.
I know the brief synopsis. Yeah. Well, let's get it popping.
Sorry about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 18 of the Utopiacast. I'm your host, Eric Hogan. We're unfortunately not joined by Michael. He's booed up. We're joined by our co-host, Elliot Vosnitsa. Elliot, say hello to the people.
Yeah.
And we're joined by who's running away with Guest of the Year, a reoccurring guest at this point, Andrew Graves. Andrew, how are you tonight, man?
I'm good, man. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear cut who the guest of the year is.
I mean, there's really your only other. Evan Wright was a breakaway pick.
He was strong. He was strong.
He was a very strong candidate. Bobby, honestly. Zach Hurst might win Guest of the Year. I'll be honest. I'll take that back. Evan, your episode was awesome, and if you're listening to this, I actually go back and listen to your episode quite often. There's people who still talk about Zach's.
It's kind of debating volume stats over, I guess, like peak.
All right. Well,
So,
you got one more time to.
I guess we'll see what we can get into.
Yeah, see what we get after it. All right. So yeah, as we said, this is the Utopiacast After Dark. It's 10:34 p.m. currently. Me and Andrew have to be up at like 5 a.m. tomorrow, or Andrew even a little bit earlier because we have a competition. He's reffing out and I'm coaching at, so might not be the best decision to record this pod, but fuck it. So what did we just get after, guys? Where did we just come from, I guess? Elliot, you go, bitch.
You're the co-host.
Yeah, come on,
Okay,
co-host.
bro. Well, you're the guest. I'm trying to give you the spotlight, bro.
Oh, man.
We just came from Jack and Jill. Of course we did.
You did.
Late night workout with obviously Andrew, Logan Allaire, Michael. So sad he couldn't join us, but
Yeah.
we did get after it, bro.
We did pretty much get after it, and the other time that you weren't there, that we trained on Friday, we were kind of just dragging it. I feel like we kind of got after it tonight.
I had a great time, and I actually was really worried that I was going to be tired
Me too.
and just not in the mood to lift at all because
Right.
I was actually hanging out with Grace before, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but that's actually, we call that the boot up effect.
Yep.
Where she actually just calms me down and like, I feel really loving and just calm,
Right.
father-like almost.
And not aggressive to get after weights, which you need.
No,
Right.
and then you text me, yo, pull up. I've been hanging out with Grace. I just made a steak, basted a steak with a butter.
Right. This kid had a pre-workout steak, for Christ's sakes.
How do you feel father-like when you were there?
Redacted.
It's just like instinct, like human instinct.
Right.
I'm not going to speak on that really. I don't think I have to.
Let's get off that topic, and we'll go over to Andrew. We just came from Jack and Jill. You had a pretty good workout. We'll go to you, Elliot, as well with this, but what did you end up hitting?
I hit a 5'10" double on squat, which was a PR double. We haven't really run doubles much, so I guess last block we did triples, and I hit 505 for 3, so technically a PR still. And then on bench I hit 335 for a double as well, which is 13 pounds below my best double. But yeah, moved really well. Felt pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not bad. Elliot, what did you end up hitting tonight?
It was just my week 2, so I think I had 355 for a double on squat, which felt honestly horrendous because I was standing around forever before trying to get shots of everyone.
Yeah, yep.
No hate whatsoever to anyone, but it's my choice. But it actually, upon reviewing the footage, it looked really good, but it felt awful. And then a 280 double on bench, which I haven't told you this yet, but I actually have a slight tweak in my pec.
We'll talk about
shoulder
this.
area.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about this.
So it didn't feel that good. But
Okay.
yeah, honestly, fuck it, bro. I'm not one to actually believe in injuries, so.
It moved well. Thought it looked pretty easy.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It hurt, and it felt bad.
We'll talk about that. I went up to 465 on squat. It was 10 pounds under my best, which I hit literally 5 weeks ago. So it feels pretty good to be able to do that with no taper. And bench 300 pounds for 1, which is 5 pounds under my best, which again I hit 5 weeks ago. So trending up pretty well. Hit 540 on deadlift earlier in this week, so 1305 training total. And my best meet total was 1306. So
Is
I
this
feel
your last week of the block?
next week.
Oh, all right.
Yep, next week, and we'll cash out for that one, and then back off of singles for a little bit, and kind of coast and move into some other stuff. So yeah, pretty good workout. Me, Elliot, and Logan Allaire pulled up. We got a little emotional on the way up.
I would argue we got more emotional on the way back.
Well, we got more actually emotional on the way back, but we got a little lit on the way up.
Sure.
Logan Allaire, I want to shout him out. Squatted 505 pounds tonight. Massive squat for a 16-year-old, regardless of body weight. Moved pretty well, and he benched 250, and that was an all-time PR for him. And he all-time PR'd all 3 lifts this week, and he's competing next week, so I want to shout him out. I'm really proud of him. And yeah, we did get emotional on the way back. We had ABBA playing. We had Slipping Through My Fingers.
Gotcha.
And then we had the Taylor Swift song that we actually like, You Belong With Me.
Yeah.
And euphoric song. I feel like we had a moment to that, Elliot.
Yeah, we actually did. I remember you looked at me, and you literally said, "You belong with me." And I was thinking to myself, like, is he actually singing at this point, or is he just?
Ladies and gentlemen, this did not happen. Elliot is fucking lying, but we want to go with that. We can absolutely do that.
No, we actually did have a moment during the bridge, though, where it was like we mutually understood
I remember
that.
you driving to my house in the middle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Might throw a hot take with that song as well. At the end.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
it.
what
All
you're
right.
talking about, yeah.
But okay. So that's that. We're going to try to be concise tonight because not only is my computer dying, but it's late right now, and I'm sure we're going to
And we're all slowly dying.
We're all slowly dying, and we'll probably end up saying
Stimmed up
something
and
we
good,
don't
dude.
we don't mean.
Stimmed up. This is caffeine-free
I had
Coke.
3 monsters.
You had 3 monsters. What'd you guys? Let's run down what we had for stims today.
I'm not going first. You go first.
I had 3 coffees and 3 monsters.
Oh my.
But all right, I'm gonna say this: like people listening to this will be like, dude, like he has like some of the best like general health measures I've ever seen. His blood pressure is low as fuck. He's got like his triglycerides are awesome.
I mean, look at him.
I'll show you my labs.
What the fuck is a triglyceride?
I don't know, but I
it's
don't have
it's
many
fat
of
in your
them.
blood. But regardless,
Okay,
he slams stims all day and is completely fine.
I'm going to be honest. I know some people are going to judge me for this. I went to Dunkin' before class today, and I got a huge energy punch. Have either of you guys had that?
No.
No, all I drink is coffee.
Bro,
Like,
stay away from that shit. So I go up, and I've had this before. And I know it's like just full of sugar. Because it literally just tastes like, upon first sip, if you've ever had like just the OG Monster, you can tell it's just Monster and like more syrup in there because they flavor it. And I go up and I'm like, yo, could I just have a small energy punch?
That sounds horrible.
The guy goes, no, we only do large. And
How much caffeine is in that?
in that moment, I really like struggled because I didn't want to, man, I can't get into it, but I did end up getting the large. And I mean, to put that in perspective, you had the Trenta. Sorry.
Stepping on what I had, bro.
Sorry, but like, it honestly in the moment looked bigger than the Trenta that you could get at Starbucks. So if I had to guess, I would say well above 32 ounces of Monster.
Right.
With syrup on top of that. So
It's like 500 milligrams probably.
Right.
is that the case?
Wait. Okay. Then you had other shit though, didn't you?
I did later have a heaping scoop of some moderately carcinogenic pre-workout that I own. So
Before I say what I say, Elliot went on this rant last week about how tap water is like, detrimental to his health. And to be fair, you didn't take a hard stance on it. You're like, maybe this is the case, so I'm going to do this. The kid is still slamming pre-workout. He just talked about an energy shit that had like God knows what in it.
Can I just say something though? Can I
Litigate
defend
yourself.
Literally, while I was drinking that Monster, I was like, yo, shit, I shouldn't be doing this.
Actively having
I was
guilt.
thinking to myself, I was like, yo,
From
this is
all of
actually
that.
hella
Yeah,
sugar.
you must repent. So what I had this morning, I had a Ghost. I love Ghost now. That's like my favorite energy. I love Rants, but sometimes I don't want 300. Sometimes I just want 200. And Ghost energy drinks are awesome.
What?
Citrus is the best. Tropical Mango is the second best. And there's a couple others that I like, but those are like my two favorites. I could have that easily.
Oh,
each
I
day.
forgot, actually. You're a sweet fiend.
Sweet fiend.
So you love those.
Love them.
Because I believe that Ghost is just a little bit too sweet.
Yeah, and I don't. I think it can get even sweeter, and I'd love it.
You fucking maniac.
So I had that in this morning, worked, got out 1 hour early because I worked an extra hour yesterday. They were like, yo, you're leaving at 4 today? I was like, I told you on Monday. You know that. And it's literally documented. There's like a schedule, and it says in bold letters, Eric leaving at 4. Like, you're leaving at 4? It's like, yes, I'm leaving at 4. And I left it. I didn't even get to leave at 4. I had to like document a bunch of things, and I left at 4:17. And then I pulled up to the Starbucks. Quite literally, there's a Starbucks within like a 1 minute walk. So from the clinic, and I frequent there often now. And I pulled up, and I was thinking of John North. And I was like, do you guys still have a Trenta option?
Ain't no cream in my coffee.
I got that Shankle blood. The guy's like, Trenta? He goes, yeah, we still got that. And I was like, but it's only for select things though. And I was like, is iced coffee part of that? He's like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, is this guy like on meth or something like that? And I was like,
Trenta, bro.
I was like, let me get a Trenta hazelnut with 4 Splendas. And he's like, 4? And I was like, yep. And I pulled up and got it, and it was euphoric. And I might be stepping on hot takes right now. Hear me out. There's the pre-workout high, and everyone knows like the jitters from the beta-alanine and all that bullshit. You're not a fan of that, correct?
No, I mean, I haven't taken the last time I took pre-workout was here 2 years ago or whenever it was.
He snorted it.
I did.
And he
I
stimmed
did
out.
do that. That happened.
I don't like the jitters either, the beta-alanine feeling.
I like the jitters, and I actually, while we were at Jacked, I was going to say, I went pee, and after I peed, I was like just scratching up all of my face. Like, I washed my hands before I did that, and I was going to say, like, scratching your face with the beta-alanine, like, itchy, just feels so...
This kid might be on meth.
I was going to say, this kid is like a...
He's gonna get like scabs or something.
I think like you like rub your forehead and you're just like, fuck.
It reminds me of Zach Hurst. Zach Hurst would get no feeling from pre-workout. It wouldn't elevate his energy levels. It wouldn't get him lit. His ears would just get inflamed, and he'd be sitting there going like this, and that was it.
My ears used to get fucking itchy, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the pre-workout, there's that. There's like an energy drink. Sometimes if you take an energy drink on an empty stomach, sometimes like you really like feel it. There's nothing that's comparable to me than a coffee high. Coffee high is like incredible to me. It puts me, it's almost like, people say like getting different types of drunk is different, like wine drunk versus beer drunk versus hard liquor drunk.
Yeah, or
I feel like
smoking a blunt versus taking an edible.
Seriously. So
what
something,
I assume.
Right, exactly. And I feel such a unique,
So I heard.
I feel such a unique high from coffee that is borderline euphoric. I don't like what it does to my bowels, to be honest with you, and that's the reason why I back off of large quantities of it. But the energy is just incredible. I love it. I've become quite a coffee guy.
Are you familiar with Rick Boogs?
I am.
Rick Delhagen.
Rick the Stick, bro.
That's right.
Doesn't he drink like 8 pots of coffee pre-workout?
He also eats garlic.
He,
Pre-workout.
Yeah, and
to get a
honey,
pump.
bro.
he accidentally consumed 1,700 milligrams of caffeine because he was taking Folgers crystals, which are like massive amounts of caffeine per a mini one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And his wife doesn't love him anymore because of bodybuilding.
because of bodybuilding. Bodybuilding's ruining his marriage.
He's
Yeah.
I actually love that guy.
Absolutely.
So funny.
He actually got me through a summer where I was like moderately depressed. I would watch his videos and I would listen to like, I don't know, classic rock, I guess.
Right.
And I would just get lit on my way to.
He was in
He was
featured
in Mogged.
quite a bit.
That's right.
Shout out to what was that?
Zach Rowan.
Yeah, Zach Rowan. But "Born for War" by Onslaught was the track to that video,
Yes.
which was fucking incredible.
The original Mogged is just never going to be replaced in my.
Oh, that was a great video.
Yeah. Okay. So the main topic that we're going to talk about today is Andrew's on a mission. All right. So before we talk about what this mission is, and shout out my boy Jizza. I'm on a mission that players say is impossible. Liquid Swords, first track. Let's go back to September 25th. All right. We're at the Titan Barbell Open, and the goal was to try to put in a bid to make a Raw Nationals qualifying total. And I'm going to spoil the ending. Andrew came up a little short. Andrew, I want you to speak on a couple different things here. First of all, I want you to talk about when I don't think you ever lost hope during that day.
No.
But I want you to talk about one thing. We'll go in segments. You got to your third squat, and unfortunately you did not get that third squat.
Yeah.
What was going through your head in terms of making that qualifying total? Because going in, we pretty much said you have to go 9 for 9 if you want the best possible chance. What went through your head when that happened? How did you process it?
It wasn't even like. I feel like it didn't even detract me, honestly, which is a weird thing to say. But like, as soon as it happened, I was like, all right, we have to bench. Like, I have to hit my bench now. And I knew at that point there's nothing you can do. And I feel like I'm kind of fortunate in this sense where I am able to like just get over things that are out of my control for like a lot of the time. Like sometimes I don't.
Yeah, you're human.
Yeah, exactly. But things like that, it's like, okay, I missed it. Now what do we have to do? Like, how do we move forward?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it saw like after like a week later, I was at a push-pull meet in Scituate, and I was talking to Eric Lapointe about it, and I was talking about how I missed my third squat and how it affected the rest of my attempts, and it never really clicked for me until I was talking to him, and it seems like really straightforward, but missing your third squat when you have like a total goal in mind really fucks everything up, because it ends up having to push outside your limits for bench and deadlift, which I didn't even consider. But moving forward, I think no matter what, like even if we go like 5 or 7.5 kilos below whatever my top end is supposed to be, like going 3 for 3 on squat is like vital to hitting a total goal if that's what your plan is.
Love that.
But yeah, after that third squat, it was just literally, I think I was maybe upset for like a second or two, and then I walked back and just got ready for bench. Like,
That's right.
Yeah.
And, before I speak on the rest of the meet for you, I think that's really important for a lot of the people that are listening. And that was one thing I remember telling Elliot when we first started working together and started doing meets, and I still tell all of my young people, and honestly everyone I work with, if there is one lift that you 100% want to go 3 for 3 on and not dice roll, it's probably the squat. Now, if you're a strong squatter and that's where your kind of all of your chips lie, then yeah, it probably changes things. But I've seen it so many times. Quite literally, I've handled, I don't know how many meets I've handled at this point, or just even me in general. When people miss their third squat, let's say they even PR'd on their second. When they miss their third, their disposition, even if they're trying their best, now you do a good job of this, but I know it's more so on the younger side, their disposition changes, and they're a little bit more disappointed for everything that comes after that. And like Andrew said, if you got to give up 2.5 or 5 kilos to get a make on the board and have momentum going into the 2, especially if you're a pretty good deadlifter, which Andrew at this point, in my opinion, is, that helps, having that momentum going into each lift. Elliot, were you going to say something?
Yeah, just while we're on the subject of squatting and meets, I actually had just this question popped into mind, because I know for a lifter like me, not necessarily my third attempt squat, missing it on something like strength per se, but if I were to miss my first or second attempt squat, we would not be going up in weight.
9 times
something like technique, or you know what I mean, or
9.5 times out of 10, I prefer not to go up in weight if a miss happens on a first or second.
So that's a question that I had, is now that we understanding the relevance of the squat in making your total for a lifter of Andrew's caliber.
Yep.
Let's say hypothetically he misses his second squat on depth or a command.
Yep.
In that situation, are you going to say, yo, we should go up? Or
absolutely. Because at that point, you actually have to weigh out the deficit. If he only gets his opener, and let's say we don't and we retake, and let's say he misses it again, now he leaves with that one opener, at least we have a plausible shot of him getting to whatever his destination is for the total, and we probably won't be able to make up that deficit. I'm thinking more so if he misses an opener, but if he misses a second, we'd have to see how close it was, because he missed his third and we left with a second, and we still were within somewhat striking distance. But I don't know, there's levels to it. I think with someone like Andrew, who I know is capable of executing, and I've handled Andrew probably at 8 or 9 meets now.
Yeah, that was my 9th meet.
Yeah, exactly. I know what he can do, and I know the standard as to how he executes.
Yeah.
If it was someone's first or second meet, honestly, I prefer not to do that, but you still will get people all the time can we still go up? Can we still go up? And it's okay, sometimes you have to let people just kind of die.
Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Die the death that they're asking for.
Believe me, I know, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But regardless, I don't think we've done that. But
no, not with squat, but for
bench,
just other shit.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so that's that. So you missed your third squat, and I will definitely co-sign the fact that you were frustrated after you missed it. You're like, oh damn, that. I wish I would have hit that, but then he was right back to bench. And a little bit longer press commands maybe than what you train with a good pause always, but they were really long that day, and I'm not complaining about refereeing. I'd actually prefer it to be that way, and Andrew, I don't think even made that excuse in the moment. That was me. But we had to go 3 for 3 on bench, or else we had no shot.
Yeah.
And you did go 3 for 3.
Yeah, I ended with 358 that day, which was a 2.5 kilo PR. Press commands, I guess, they are what they are. I mean, I didn't think it was egregious, and I didn't think it was anything that was detrimental to the bench. But yeah, especially after missing your third squat, going 3 for 3 is crucial, because if you miss your third bench, then you're literally out of it. And
especially if you're taking 7.5 kilo jumps.
I think my second was 348 or 347 or 5. We took a 5 kilo jump to my third because we were planning on taking a 7.5 kilo
That's
jump
what it was, yep.
to go 363, which I've wanted for almost 2 years at this point. It would be a fucking double body weight bench, and I just have not gotten there. I think not at the Titan meet, but the Odyssey meet.
Meet, you definitely had it.
I probably had it.
No,
then.
you did have it.
Didn't happen, but I went 3 for 3, and that I was also at that Odyssey meet. I missed my third squat there.
Yep.
That sucked, but it was different. I feel like I was more upset after I missed my third squat at the Odyssey meet,
right,
than at the Titan meet.
Yeah,
which is strange because I don't know. I didn't really have any concrete goals at that Odyssey meet. I wasn't going for a total PR.
Right.
I wasn't going for a national qualifying total. I was just trying to hit a total PR, and so I don't know. I think maybe I feel like every meet you take something out of it, and
of course,
missing a third squat because the meet prior to the Odyssey meet, the other Odyssey meet was the first time I squatted 500.
501, yeah.
Yeah, and then I took 535 for my third at that second Odyssey meet, missed that, and then but with the bench press, I don't have too much to say. But the one thing I do want to say is people tend to overlook bench press sometimes because it's like the least amount of weight you're lifting, and it's kind of boring to watch. But those kilos count just as much towards your total as squat and deadlift.
Yeah.
And like even if you miss, you're still going to leave like 5 or 7.5 kilos on the table from your total. And
it's hard to make up some of those 7.5 kilos on a deadlift, you know what I mean, especially if you're pushing well outside your means already. And Elliot will tell you, he's had 2 meets where you've gone 1 for 3 on bench, and that really ate into your total.
Was it 2?
Yeah, remember the first one in 2021 where your butt came up, missed your opener, and then your third.
Shit. This most recent meet I did that too.
No, you made
strength.
Most recent one was.
But I forgot that I only went 1 for 3.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, seriously, yeah, exactly. But like for Elliot, who's arguably, honestly, your best lift probably still is bench. Would you say?
Yeah.
In terms of like.
Probably technically, I wish it was. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you wish it is, but right now it is bench, right? And you left with a 286 bench, and Elliot is a 320 bencher. So that is 80, 90. You know what I mean? So 34 pounds that we could have had on his total based upon.
Kilos.
Yeah, exactly. So Andrew's right. Even if you don't think you're a great bencher,
15 kilos is my bad.
I think the main thing we're all gonna say is making your lifts, like, try to make your lifts. Stop taking Hail Marys. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a better time. But on the subject of Hail Mary, Andrew, we it was a long time ago at this point. Where this is December 2nd, and he was
2.5 months ago now, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. We basically, Andrew came to me. He's like, we're going to have to go well outside of, with the planned deadlift that we originally had. Let's just take huge jumps. We'll open up a little bit lighter. We'll take a big jump to the second, and then we'll go for the total. And the number that Andrew would have had to pull in order to get that total was 611 pounds, correct?
Yeah.
Now, Andrew, your best pull going into the day was?
563 pounds.
563. So we had to attempt
600 loading.
Yeah, exactly. So we had to attempt well north of what we thought we would have to attempt.
Our
and
planned third was 584.
584, and things happened, and we had to attempt 611. And me being the person, Andrew has a good. For those who don't know, Andrew's PR'd his total in every single meet, and it was not a goal of his. I want to state very clearly, he did not care if he did not PR his total. He told that to me explicitly. I was like, we're here. You work so hard. You've had this streak going for literally 4 years. Let's just put in a number that will PR your total by 2.5, and then we'll send it for the third. And he's like, yeah, all right, we'll just do it. We hit your second. Actually moved insane.
Yeah, no,
your deads were on that day.
They really were, and that was my first meet with hook grip.
That was the last piece I was going to talk about here. So we went up to 611 for the third. It was an incredible moment.
Yeah.
All of Titan, which is Andrew's home gym, was standing, and it was obviously a huge jump. And the other piece that I want to speak on that he just kind of alluded to is you changed your grip up.
Yeah.
You were a mixed grip puller so Andrew started off pulling sumo mixed grip in the beginning of powerlifting. Then we switched over to conventional after sumo just was not taking. Then you start progressing again. And then you reach kind of a limit with your grip kind of betraying you. And that was around like the 560-ish mark.
Anything above like 530 was like a 50-50 chance if I was just going to hold on to it.
Right.
Because some weeks it would be like rock solid, and then like the next week it would just fall right out of my hands. And there's nothing more frustrating than grip strength being a limiting factor on deadlifts.
Absolutely.
It's infuriating.
Absolutely.
It fucking drove me crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you, obviously, your back strength was well above what we were pulling. And, we tried every grip exercise known to man. We did long holds, we did short holds, we did heavy holds, we did everything. So finally, me and him went back and forth. I'm like, why don't we try hook grip? And Andrew wasn't necessarily combative. I don't think he was that at all. But he's like, is this really going to be the fix? You know what I mean? Because hook grip hurts and shit like that. And he did it right. He did it how all people I recommend them to do. And it's just start off slow. He kept mixed grip in the rotation. Andrew never pulls the straps anyway, but mixed grip was always in the rotation. He was always doing heavy sets with the mixed grip. And it really came to fruition because you got 611 pounds to your knees. And I haven't seen you fuck up on grip pretty much ever since you switched over to hook grip. What is the talk about hook grip and then talk about that pull?
It's like just thinking about that pull. There's so much to get into, just like emotionally. But with a hook grip, I don't like. I feel like I've been lucky to the point where my thumbs haven't ripped open yet. But when I was watching the Sean Noriega and Johnny Candido video, I think they're lucky because I think they have long thumbs and they like have long fingers. I don't think my fingers are very long, but they're not really small.
Dude, I love that. I love what you just said right there.
And so what?
Sorry, just for the listeners, we're just comparing right now.
So what they recommend is holding the bar as low in your thumb as possible. And there were times during my prep where I would try and do that and hold it as low in my thumb as possible, and it would just slip out. And so I'd be like, well, that's not going to work. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to put my thumb as deep as fucking possible. And I do that, and my thumbs haven't ripped open yet, and I've held on to over 600 pounds, and I've been training well north of 500 pounds for months now at this point. And so I guess just the thing, it's hard to be consistent with it, honestly, because I only train it once a week. I only deadlift once a week. And so a lot of times when I'm warming up, I literally just go down, I do my like dynamic setup, and then I just grip the bar, and then I just stay there for a second. And I don't even do a rep. I do everything up until the rep. And so I'll just go down and get my hook set and then stop. And so as long as I can find like the consistency, it works, and it's money, and it's been money for a while now. Yeah. So I mean, once this stops working, I don't know what else we're gonna do. But
I was gonna say we were running out of options. We're gonna have to bring the stance back.
Go back to sumo.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
That would just be sick.
I do not have the hip mobility for sumo, dude. Like,
his hips used to fucking kill him.
I remember when I used to train at TPS, there was, Jesus, this is like a fucking terrible memory. I was doing sumo deadlifts. I think I was doing like doubles with like 455 or something like that. And I was doing like 4 sets of 2. And after like my third one, my left adductor, it didn't like tear, or it wasn't like a catastrophic injury or anything like that. But whenever I would deadlift, it would just burn so bad, and I couldn't move. I was literally like writhing on the ground, and there was a guy just standing next to me waiting for the platform, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry, but I'm like, I was just like, I couldn't. It was so bad. But as soon as I was done deadlifting, it was fine. The rest of the week, it was fine. I would warm up. I'd be fine. Got to my top set, and then it would fucking kill. And I'm like, what? There's no reason for this.
Reason. Elliot, you want to say something?
Is the adductor on the inside of the thigh or the outside?
Yeah, it's like the groin.
Inside, yeah.
Dude, when I first started pulling like sumo, in air quotes, I used to get the worst adductor pain too.
Yeah.
Like that? Like it would burn?
Yeah, it would burn, and I couldn't even pull. Anytime I even got into position on the bar, it would just be the most, I don't even know, incapacitating pain.
Yeah, the amount of stress the adductors take on a sumo deadlift is very high, and most people just rush right into it. So it's like,
why don't I get that anymore?
Because your adductors are strong now.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I've probably set up for sumo twice since I switched to conventional, just like with a plate on, and every time I set up and bend down and grab the bar, it feels like I'm going to dislocate both of my fucking hips. So I'm just like, I'm never doing this shit again.
All right, so let's get back on track here. So we loaded up 611, and that was exactly what you need to go 682.5, 1504 on the total. Yeah. And like we set the stage, and see if you can send me that video. I think you have an actual. We have the Instagram.
Yeah, I have the video. I have the full like setup for it.
Yeah, we'll post it on there.
Yeah.
So talk about what was going through your head leading up to the poll, what was happening during the poll, and then immediately after the poll. Talk about that.
I felt, right after my second poll, I felt bad because I've talked with Riley about this quite a bit, but for some reason it's really easy for me to get in like the zone for squats and like really like turn my brain off and just like as dialed in as humanly possible. I can do that for squat, like my third squat, without a problem. It's hard to do that twice in one day because I feel like on my bench press, it's not necessarily in the zone like that, but I get really focused. But for my deadlift, you have to like or at least I have to get back into that zone. And so after my second, Patria came up to me and wanted to show me the video.
I remember this, dude.
I felt so bad after, but I was like, I really can't talk to you right now. And she
I
was
watched it
so
third
dejected
person,
when she
and I was-
walked away, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I love you.
And for those listening, Patria is his girlfriend.
Yeah,
Wonderful person, absolutely nice, and she meant well by it. And Andrew meant well by it, but it was just a tough moment. And I watched it in the third person. I'm sitting back there, I'm like,
I talked to her about it afterwards. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She was like, no, I get it. Like,
she's
I was
also a
sad in
powerlifter
the
too,
moment,
so she
but
gets it. Yeah.
she was like, because right after, as she was walking away, I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I love you. And she was, I was like, fuck, okay, I need to stop thinking about this. And yeah, it was a tough one, but I mean,
It was a tough one. That's
No,
what it
didn't you
was.
feel bad that you like, dude? Like, were you not
fucking
back
deadlift,
there?
dude.
Okay, were you not back there like, oh man, I hope she still loves me? Like,
no,
I don't
we're
think it was
fine.
like that.
I mean, I'm confident in our relationship, so I feel like, and that was this was our first like time being together when I was competing, so she hadn't like been around me as a competitor before, so it's fine. Everything is fine. We're good.
yeah.
That was 3 months ago, and we're still happily together. So
can I ask? Just really quick? Can I ask you something? Just
Yeah.
boot up to boot up.
yeah.
Do you find that not necessarily relationship issues, but like if something like is just even minorly wrong in your relationship, that probably has the worst impact on your performance in the gym? Like out of every variable that could go wrong, if that goes wrong, that has the most negative impact on you?
I think I've been lucky up to this point because we haven't had too many serious issues. Like I said, like if it comes down to it, I guess just I feel like I'm kind of good at just turning my brain off and like getting into the gym, forgetting everything that's wrong with me, and going to work. And then once I'm done at the gym, I can get back to my real life and deal with those issues. But I don't know. It's tough to say because we haven't really, had
Cross-separated,
any real issues like that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it like in real life, it is hard because like even outside the gym, like when, something's not going right or we're in a disagreement or an argument or anything like that, it's hard. And, you want to be there and you want to fix things and you want to resolve the issues you have, and it takes a toll on you. So
Yeah.
it definitely can affect, how things go in the gym.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just ask because like I know that if I upset Grace, that is the one thing that I will be thinking about in the gym.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, and I know what you mean, because when, at least this happens to me sometimes, when I go to the gym, I feel like I'm almost being selfish and like taking time away from
Yeah.
time I could be spending trying to resolve the issue. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's,
And there's applications to that to elsewhere besides relationships, but definitely, I think a lot of people would relate to that. So that was a tough moment, Andrew. And
also that ends well. I'm sorry again.
So what was your mindset going into that third pull? Because it's well north of anything you'd ever pulled. So
Yeah.
like I want to know, because we never really talked about what was going through your head.
It was I put my head down, I close my eyes, and I do this before pretty much all of my third attempts. I put my head down, I close my eyes, I listen to my music, I don't talk to anybody, I don't say anything. And I was just, the only thing I was thinking was, you got to hit this. Like, if you want it, like, this is what you're here for. Like, everybody's here, it's now or never, it's hard to like recollect what was happening, because I don't want to be that guy and be like, oh, I wasn't even there. But like, I literally just turn my brain off as best as I can, and I don't think about anything. I've already done all the repetitions. I've deadlifted, thousands of times at this point.
Yep.
It's like, you just got to go and deadlift, do what you have been doing.
Yep.
And I guess that's kind of my mindset going into it. And I knew it was going to be hard, like 612, a 50-pound PR essentially is crazy to even load. But I wasn't even worried about it. I was just saying, it's no different than any other third attempt. Like, if you want your goal, you're going to have to hit it. And that was my mindset. And, as soon as I took my headphones out, I heard everybody fucking going crazy. But I still wasn't like present in the moment. I didn't look up at the crowd. I didn't do anything. I looked at the bar.
That's
I
huge.
went up and I did my best.
Gave it your
And,
best shot, yeah.
it didn't work out, but it was a crazy day. if anybody ever has a chance to compete in their home gym, like if you're lucky enough to be in a powerlifting gym, I 100% recommend it because, you know, after the lift, I walked outside and I literally just like broke down in tears, not even from sadness. I was upset, but it was just the culmination of so many things, like having my family there, having all my friends there, having my training partners there, being in my own gym, like random, like, you know, everybody in the crowd was standing for me. I was the last deadlift of the flight. I was, you know, everybody knew the circumstances. Everybody knew I needed to hit that to hit my goal. And having that support from everybody on top of being upset that I missed the mark, I literally just fucking broke down and fucking cried for like 5 minutes, and I was like, all right, that's it. Now we got to get back to work.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's Ellie, I know you want to say something, so I'm going to let you say that, but the thing that I want to, I guess, take away from that is, you know, powerlifting meets are very, very emotional, and, you know, I guess the only thing that we can ever really get is, or I guess cherish, is opportunities. And I think, you know, probably it hit you that, wow, I just had an opportunity to do something that, you know, I've probably been working my entire training career to do, and in my home gym. It honestly, if you would have made it, yeah, it would have been awesome. But like the fact that you had that moment set up for you, you're going to have that memory for your entire life. And honestly, that's probably better. You know, if you did hit it, awesome, you go to Raw Nationals, whatever. Now you're going to have that memory to be like, hey, I came up short in my home gym. Everyone remembers that. I'm going to use this to fuel me to I'm never going to have that scenario happen again, but again, that you're happy that.
And I'll let you say what you want to say, but had I like maximized my potential that day and gone for like my max effort third attempts and gotten like a 675 total, I wouldn't have been happy with myself.
Exactly.
Like if I had gotten a, you know, 25 kilo PR total, and still, if I didn't go for it, I wouldn't have been satisfied.
Exactly. So that's the whole point I'm trying to make. Is just the fact that you had the, and you know, if the deadlift was like 650 or something like that, maybe we would have reconsidered, because that would just be reckless at that point. But you know, who's to say?
Asked for it.
Who's to say? He still probably would ask for it, and I still probably would say, all right. Elliot.
Well, it feels a little bit off subject now, but I just like in the moment when you were discussing your 612 pull, I wanted to know how you kind of register like the heaviest lifts you ever go through, because like in my mind, right, this could be completely wrong, but Eric, I think of you as a very analytical person, to where if you're PRing a certain lift, you're like, okay, this is exactly like 5 pounds over my previous. I know it's gonna feel exactly like this, like yada yada yada.
Yep.
For me, I don't actually, like, for example, if I was in your shoes, Andrew, during that meet, I would not actually register, oh shit, this is 612 pounds. I would just be like, okay, this is the heaviest deadlift I've ever done. It's just going to be like every other heavy deadlift I've ever done. It's going to feel the same. Let's just go out there and do it. I just want to know, like, was that daunting to you? Like, oh my God, this is 612 pounds.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to ask. So like, did it register?
Was it just like normal, like, okay, I'm just about to hit the heaviest deadlift I've ever done.
Right. So would you have attempted to, because I've been with Andrew, and I will say, just objectively speaking, your mindset going into that third deadlift was different than other third deadlifts I've seen, but I want to hear it from you, actually.
This is, I think, somewhat related. Kind of not, but kind of. And you probably know this story. Somebody at like a seminar asked Ed Cohn what it felt like to squat 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. Yep.
And he goes, well, what's your max? He goes, I'm like 450. He goes, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
So like heavy is heavy. And when you're near maximal, like post maximal, it's just going to be heavy. And I didn't really think about it. Like, I wasn't really worried that I was going to miss it.
You weren't.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think about it like, oh, this is 50 pounds over my max. Like, I've never held this much. Like, am I going to be able to do it? I didn't even think about it. My only thought was, this is your third deadlift.
You need this.
I would have had the same thought process had I gone 6 for 6 and taken 585 for my third deadlift. It would have been exactly the same.
Right. And
I think that's probably the best way to approach it, in my opinion, is treat every third attempt the same no matter what. Yeah. But you know, that's just kind of how I see it, and it didn't really, you know, it wasn't a daunting thing. It wasn't like, you know.
But Elliot, you go.
I was just gonna say, I think that's really cool. Like, I guess anecdotally now from all three of us, if a weight is presented to you like on the platform, I think we can all agree that you don't look at it as like, oh man, this is such and such above my max. You just look at it as like, this is my third attempt.
Yeah, even
this is going to be heavy. And I think like we can all agree 612 pounds is probably like, we wouldn't call it reckless.
Yeah,
but it was a leap.
It was high. It was. I mean, not many times would you attempt a 50-pound PR than something you ever hit before. But I understand.
You got it to your knees, and I can't help but think like part of that is just like the mentality of it. Like you're not thinking, okay, this is 612. You're thinking like, okay, this is just my third attempt. It's going to be just like everything. And I don't know. I think that's just a lesson for everyone.
Yeah, it
like
is.
how big mentality can dictate your lifts.
No, it's absolutely right. And based upon how that moved, like we were kind of talking, Andrew probably had anywhere between 589 to 596. I don't know. Maybe you could grind out 6 on that day. But we got. That's going to lead me to my next piece here. Is you're training for your next meet in Philadelphia, correct?
February 18th, Dan Campos Fitness, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, yeah.
That's right, and your training's going really well going into that.
So far, so good. Yeah.
So far, so good. You're rolling on squat. Your deadlift is, to be honest, taking off, and it's to see where his deadlift is at compared to other preps where we kind of had to go outside our means. I feel a lot better going into this next one, me personally, because as we talked about before, I do program for Andrew. How are you feeling going into that meet?
I think I appreciate more having the ability to sort of rely on my deadlift more so than my squat, because going into that Titan meet, we really we're trying to push the squat, like you were saying, like when squat is one of your better lifts and you want to get every single ounce out of it, you try and push it. But I feel much more capable this time relying on my deadlift and just taking what's there on squat instead of trying to push the squat and risking a miss on my third.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I'm pretty excited and I'm pretty confident with that. And it ended up being, going into that Titan meet, we could have relied on my deadlift a little bit more, but we just didn't know because
exactly.
It was my first meet with hook grip, and
a lot of
we
variables.
I had pulled 563 in training and it moved well, but it wasn't like lightning fast. And I feel I definitely could have had anything over 585 that day, but knowing that now and taking that information to this coming meet, I'm excited. And I feel like if I can just get like 7.5 kilo PR squat, 5 to 7.5 on squat, another 2.5 on bench even, and then just whatever I need on deadlift.
The differences,
it seems like the game plan right now. So
yeah, absolutely. And I like what you said about that, because again, we've worked with so many meets. We just, everything, it's become such a cliche that everything's a data point, but quite literally, if you actually pay attention to the trends going in, it makes it so easy to plan for meets moving forward. And he made that assumption right there. Of course, we would come to that together, but yeah, it probably makes sense because we have data from 2 meets now that when we push the squat a little bit too heavy and he misses, it tends to flatline, his overall meet performance. So yeah, we'll probably leave 2.5 to 5 in the tank confidently, and bench something good, and then pull when he needs to, because he can hold on to anything now. His back strength is insane, and I personally feel good loading up something near 600 pounds now, confidently. So I think he's going to do it next meet, and it's going to be awesome. Selfishly, I want to see all my guys there, but just because I've grown up with Andrew and he's one of my best friends in this lifetime, so I want to see him. That would be the apex of your athletic career. Would you? I
mean, I've never qualified for nationals in anything else.
Yeah, right. So it was emotional in the moment when you tried to do it last meet, and it'll be emotional in the moment for this one. It's going to be a little bit better because I'll be one-on-one. I had a bunch of people the other day, and it's just hard keeping track. So really excited for you, and we're going to set Philly on fire, and then I'm about to pull up to the cheesesteak and ask for an actual steak and cheese, not the Cheese Whiz shit that they put on it.
That's the actual steak and cheese.
Yeah, I know, but that's fucking whack, bro.
You gotta get the OG.
Come to Saco Bay Variety.
I'm gonna say something. Say something
we
bad.
have the best Philly cheesesteak in New England.
I'm gonna say something bad about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm gonna get killed, bro.
You're gonna get batteries thrown at you like fucking Santa Claus.
But yeah, okay, so. That was cool, and hopefully by this pod will probably come out well after when we're recording it, but it will be pretty close to closing in meet prep time. So hopefully you guys tuning in will be able to see Andrew qualify, and we'll all be in Memphis listening to 3-6 Mafia in September.
R.I.P. Dolph.
R.I.P. Dolph. Shout out Project Pat. Yeah. Laptop is not doing too well on battery right now, and we're closing in on an hour. Is there anything that you guys want to get off your chest before you go to hot takes and shoutouts? Elliot, we're looking at
shit.
Elliot, we're looking at you,
something
bro.
to get off my chest real quick.
Yeah, why
bro.
don't you say it, bro?
I actually have like 5 things I have to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, it's actually just been eating me up inside.
Go say it.
Faded than a hoe, faded than a hoe, faded than a hoe, faded than a hoe, faded than a hoe. You ever seen that guy?
No.
Oh,
Have you?
It was nice. Thanks for having me, guys.
you haven't seen that guy on TikTok?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he's actually funny, bro.
If anyone hears us in the comments, please tell me if you know what the fuck that is.
Let me explain
He
it.
definitely was like waiting for us to like burst out laughing, and we didn't even know.
If Michael was here, would he have gotten it?
No, maybe if Logan was here. No, there's this guy on TikTok.
Logan, who's never been on the pod before.
I know that people watching this will know this guy on TikTok. He's always like, Fulcrum, come in. And he's just like, is the goofiest fucking goober. And he's always in like a restaurant or something. He's like out here in Yodi land, faded than a hoe. I actually have something that get off my chest right now. And then he just says like, faded than a hoe. He's always high.
Oh, okay. He's saying faded than a hoe?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for letting us know about
Sorry.
that. No, it's okay, bro. You had to get that off your chest.
I actually was debating.
And
whether I wanted to do that 'cause-
people probably understand. Me and Andrew are fucking 25 years old, so we're not part of that generation anymore.
Yeah.
My
bad.
All good. All right, so let's go on to hot takes here.
Sure.
Does anyone have one ready to go?
I do.
Elliot, why don't you start us?
Okay. I work at a sub shop, and it's actually kind of synchronicity that you mentioned Philly cheesesteaks.
Yep.
I'm not going to talk about the Philly cheesesteak. That's a great sandwich. But I am going to talk about the Italian, which, in my opinion, is not a great sandwich because this is my hot take, guys. Italian sandwiches, not Italians. Italian sandwiches
Italian-American discrimination.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
just have way too many veggies on them. It's unenjoyable. It's unenjoyable. You don't need that many onions, olives, green peppers, tomatoes, pickles, bro. Are you kidding me? That's too many vegetables. I'm not opposed to vegetables, and I'm not a vegetable hater. But if you're going to have a sandwich, let's look at what actually adds flavor. First off, olives are disgusting. Onions? Do you even want a raw onion on your sandwich? Like, it adds flavor, but okay. So let's
Bro,
actually...
you want an onion on your sandwich?
Let's talk about what really matters here.
He's eating onions.
Green peppers add a nice little freshness and a little crunch. Definitely taking those. Tomatoes, whack. Watery shit, garbage. Pickles?
His hair.
Pickles? All right.
Whack.
So literally, like, if you're getting an Italian with all the vegetables and you're not just getting pickles and green peppers,
Not really an Italian at that point, then, is it?
no, but it doesn't even have to be. We can make our own fucking sandwich, bro. We live
Right.
in America.
What we've been doing with our hot takes is we're not going at it. We're not explaining any further than that. That's your hot take. You're going to stick by it. Andrew.
I was a little bit put on the spot because I was told at the beginning of the podcast to think of a hot take, and I was trying to the entire time. But I did just think of one, and it is related to television.
Okay.
I think that Lost is the greatest TV show of all time, and I don't know if either one of you have watched Lost.
No, I haven't.
Elliot
And I
definitely
don't
doesn't
plan-
agree
I
with
don't
me.
plan on
I
watching
haven't
it.
seen
So
Lost.
okay, so it's a hot take. So yeah, it's fucking incredible. Highly recommend it to anybody. It is so good.
And
I've watched it probably 8 times now.
Our friend Brendan has watched it a couple times too.
Yeah.
I know we said we wouldn't elaborate much on our hot takes, but just literally just name one thing about Lost that makes it even remotely close to the best show known to man.
The mystery. Concepts of
Yeah,
dark and white.
What was that?
Dark
life
and white.
life and death.
Yin and yang, the balance of the universe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have
bro.
you ever watched it, bro?
No, bro. And there's
How
a
are you
reason
gonna
for
shit
that.
on it then? What's the reason?
Why would I want to watch?
It won an Emmy.
Okay.
I thought we said we're not litigating this, all right? My hot take.
I
Yeah.
respect you. I respect you, bro. I'm sorry.
My
I'm
hot
just
take is
bantering.
going to mirror not last episode, but the episode before that, where I said no scrubs. It should go both ways. Kind of along the same line with this one I'm going to say. So we're listening to "You Belong with Me" by Taylor Swift on the way back here, and the opening line is, "You're on your phone with your girlfriend. She's upset. She's going off about something that you said. But she doesn't get your humor like I do. And I was making the case to Logan Allaire and Elliot that very rarely is that the case, where the girl is longing for a guy in a relationship. It's usually the guy who's longing for the girl in the relationship, right? I think I personally would say that is the case for most times that I've seen the scenario play out. My dog Ellie is also right here, so I'm going to include her. She wants to come up.
What the fuck was that noise that just came out of her mouth?
So she wants to be up here, so she's going to be up. And I want you to chill, Elle. What I'm trying to say is that scenario is very highly unrealistic, and I love that song, but it goes to the fact that Taylor Swift doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. That's my hot take. And let's move, with that said, let's move to shoutouts. Shoutouts is a segment where we shout out anything that we want, anything, anyone. The floor is yours, and the floor is yours only. Does anyone have a shout out they want to make? I can go first, so we can go snake style and go back to Elliot.
I'm not going first this time.
I'll go first.
All right, Andrew's gonna. Yeah, let's let Gus go first.
I would like to shout out my mom, Carol Graves. It was her birthday yesterday.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy
Late
birthday, Carol.
My mom helps out a lot at the powerlifting meets. She does everything pretty much. She helps us load the truck, unload the truck. She does the registration table. She got like thousands of messages from all my friends yesterday for wishing her a happy birthday. So, I just want to shout out my mom. She's the best. She's a great mom. And also want to shout out Sergio because he asked me to. So, shout out to Sergio.
Wait a minute. Isn't it your mom's birthday tomorrow, Eric?
Yeah.
It's good fucking shit right there.
Good shit, man.
Yeah.
Elliot, you want to go next?
No, you go, bro.
Okay. My shout out this week is going to be Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin is a very underrated overall artist. He puts out like a lot of hits and stuff like that. And a lot of the production that he makes, like I didn't even know it was him doing it. Obviously, I hear the tag at the end of the song, but the two projects he has released as albums, Not All Heroes Wear Capes, and then today's Heroes and Villains, incredible what he's able to cultivate together.
Didn't he also make an album with Nav?
He's made an album with Nav. He's made an album with I don't know if you count those as albums. I think if they count as albums, then we'll count it. Yeah, collab albums. But Big Sean.
But he was like the featured producer, right? Like
right, Nav and Metro Boomin, and then of course there's Double or Nothing with Big Sean. He has a tremendous discography. Metro Boomin, man, what a guy. And his mother was killed over the summer.
Yeah.
So it was probably very difficult for him to put together this, during a period of turmoil. So I'm gonna shout out Metro Boomin.
Yeah, that video or like movie.
Yeah, the short film that was incredible.
Sick, yeah.
Yeah. So he's him and Travis Scott are the two visionaries for me in today's.
What's his name? Lakeith Stanfield.
Keith Stanfield was there. Yep.
Yeah, he's a fucking good actor, dude.
And I'm gonna shout out Travis Scott because he's putting out an album called Utopia. And that will definitely be listened to and shouted out on this pod when it comes out for obvious reasons. Elliot, your shout out.
Dude, I gotta get on that. Like, I don't even know half these people you're talking about. I feel kind of silly just sitting here listening.
You
to
know
you
who
guys.
Metro Boomin is? Give me those.
No, I know who Metro Boomin is, and I know who Travis Scott is, but like
Metro.
Yeah, but spaceship now, I'm a space cadet.
Ding. No, not that song, bro. But anyways, keep going.
Anyway, I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna take it back.
Yeah, we're just staring at Elliot. Go.
I'm gonna take it back to actually the early modern period in Europe, even before that actually, and I'm gonna just shout out alchemy.
Law of equivalent exchange.
That, if you want to talk about it like that.
Dripping with alchemy, shiver stop shivering.
I don't know, bro. Something about it. I had to write a paper about it.
What is it?
My history class. What is it? Dude, I can't even define it. If you want it in layman's terms, I mean, you're looking for a mystical way to transform, like, lesser metals into gold, but like you're also searching for universal truths. You're trying to friggin' call upon God. You're looking for the philosopher's stone, the elixir of life. It's like, dude, I don't even know. I can't even. It's fucking just insane. Like, if you guys are bored,
read The Alchemist.
Read
Alchemist.
Like, learn about, like, Isaac Newton or, like, alchemy. Like, I don't even know, bro. Learn about the first alchemists. It's
Did
insane.
Isaac Newton invent calculus or discover calculus?
How does one discover calculus? Like,
no, that's actually a really
he comes up to
question,
someone, he's
though.
like, you see what happens when you do this with these couple numbers here? Do you see this, bro?
He didn't. Dude, that's actually. Whoa. That's a crazy question because technically calculus always existed.
Yeah.
But we invented the numeric system
The
to describe
discipline,
it.
yeah.
We invented the numeric system to describe it.
Was it Isaac? Because I got some words to say about him. Because fuck
I
calculus,
think actually Rene Descartes discovered calculus. I'm sorry, bro.
Who, bro?
I'm pretty sure it was
bro?
Isaac Newton.
Descartes. No, first off, it wasn't Newton.
He was calling me
I'm
Descartes.
100% positive it was Descartes. Zach Mack, this is your time to shine.
Hold on. Hey, this is Zach, the editor of the Utopiacast. I'm about to get to the bottom of this. To conquer such a tall task like this, I had to search the depths of the internet. I actually just went on Google, just Googled who discovered calculus, and it was the first page. It's just called History of Calculus on Wikipedia. And calculus was developed in the late 17th century by a man named Isaac Newton and another dude named Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, something along those lines. So, Isaac Newton is partially right. But back to the podcast.
Zach, bro, are we asking who discovered, who created, or same
I
thing?
think it was discovered, or like
I
the
think
modern.
I think calculus was created, but the mathematical principles were discovered.
How does one discover that? You know what I
What
mean?
about like
it-
non-Euclidean math?
they're playing around with numbers, and they're like, bro, did you see what
I'll
happened?
tell you
to
what, it wasn't Euclid. Dude, you don't know Descartes though? I think therefore I am.
Maybe I do, like secondhand, but I'm still caught up
skeptic,
I'm still caught up in the concept of how someone discovers calculus. Like they're playing around with 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're like, look what happens when you take the
Dude,
natural
people
log.
do crazy shit.
Look at the
man.
logarithm. You know what
Well,
I mean?
they were like, yo, like this graph would be sick if we rotated.
yeah, exactly. Or people doing geometry and being like, look at the circle, bro. Like, there's no way I can get a diameter. Or what is it, the radius? No. The circumference. You can't get the circumference of a circle, right?
What?
What do you mean? You can get everything of a circle.
Isn't it pi, and pi is infinite?
No, circumferences can be a whole number, but
I mean, the
pi
infinite
is-
exists everywhere where it shouldn't.
you know what's crazy is the brain named itself.
Okay, you know what's really crazy is that we came from unconscious matter that is now consciously observing and examining itself.
All right, let's end on this.
No, I actually
no.
shouldn't. No, I'm.
Let's end on this. I want to know your guys' take on this.
Okay.
Are we the only form of human life in the entire universe?
Human life?
No.
Are we the only form?
Guaranteed no.
No, I'm asking human life.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Guaranteed
saying we're
no.
the only. I think we're the only humans. I think there's other intelligent life. I don't think they're humans. I think they're probably different than us.
How
Yeah,
do you
maybe
find the human-
we'll I'll
I mean, there
reverse
is a
that.
definition of a human.
So, all right, now maybe I won't say human. There other forms of life, I guess stereotypically speaking, since we are from Earth, aliens. Maybe
Yes.
not what we think of, like the weird heads and shit like that destroy all humans,
But
but
identical to humans. We just.
but yes, intelligent forms of life. Is there other forms of life in the galaxy of the in universe?
We'll put it this way. And now this could be. I could be spitting just straight shit. Like my mouth is probably jealous of my ass because of all this bullshit that's about to come.
We're
out
on
of it,
3%, so get it
Okay,
out.
bro. But listen.
I wanted to ask him a question.
Would they be? Would we be able to call them humans? No, I don't think so because this group is what we define as a human,
2%.
right? But in an
Because
infinitely,
I think it might not save if we don't. So keep
okay, bro, in an infinitely expanded universe, right? There's infinite lifetimes, infinite possibilities. There's every single thing that could possibly exist in this universe that is infinitely big, infinitely expanding. There's infinite timelines, bro. Forget the multiverse. It happens in this universe.
Yeah, everything
there are
that
humans
has
out there.
happened could have already
There's a
happened.
human that is living your exact life, except one difference was made. One small decision was made differently.
You can't prove that.
I can't prove that, but I
Andrew.
can theorize about
Yep.
that.
What do you think? Is there forms? Yes or no?
Yes, I don't want your answer, but what the hell were you talking about a few podcasts ago? Was it like the Dyson like energy from a black hole or some shit?
Oh, a ring around the sun, actually covering the sun in like solar panel type objects that extracts 100% of energy from the sun.
I am halfway on it, but if I had to, make a decision now, I'd say there's no way that there is not other forms of life in the universe. I think it's very selfish to say that we're the only ones out there.
Sure.
That
Shout
being
out to Carl Sagan.
shout out Carl Sagan.
Holy shit.
Don't shout out Neil deGrasse Tyson though.
I actually fucking don't like that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Not. Anyway.
That was episode 18 of the Utopiacast. Andrew, thank you for joining us. We're signing off for the night. We got to be up in like fucking 5 hours. We love y'all.
Thanks for listening.